Welcome to Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement, part of the Treehouse Podcast Network. On today's show, we'll hear about rookies, pranks are always good,
Pranks are good.
face punches,
I can't wait for that one.
and more.
Nothing like a good old face punch.
Yeah, nothing like a good face punch. Steve here, co-host for today, Joann Jackson.
Hey, y'all.
And we're joined with two guests in the studio today. We've got retired Officer Ross
Dobelbower.
There it is. Dobelbower. I got it right
You did.
once. Okay. And from now on it's Ross.
Yes.
Yes.
Also joining us in the studio, we've got Officer Brad Uptmore.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, gentlemen. Anything new going on, Joann?
Not really. Unpleasant things, but
Okay. Well,
passing of a friend who influenced many people in their careers, probably thousands of people, and then just Brian's case stuff. But that's it. Pretty boring.
all right. Well,
Pretty boring.
sorry to hear about the loss of your friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It was unexpected.
Now, this is our first time back in the studio after the Treehouse Sunday Fun Day Roadshow.
Oh yeah, Trey.
Shots fired. Yes, if we attended the Treehouse show,
Mhm.
their Fun Day Sunday road show
Mhm.
a little while back, and that basically the road shows where they actually record in front of a live audience.
The Maverick. We were at the Maverick.
Yeah, at the
in-
Maverick Bar over in Carrollton.
Yep.
So if you haven't checked that place out, great place. Yeah, you were there,
Mhm.
Curtis, myself.
Mhm.
I spent a little bit of time on stage with Dan O'Malley. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
Okay.
You'll have to ask Karen.
Oh no, I haven't heard this yet. But if you want to check it out, guys, the guys that were there at the Treehouse show, you can find them on treehouseonair.com. If you want to listen to that road show, I believe it was Tuesday's episode that they had released. So
Don't believe anything Trey says about me.
yeah. So Trey Trenholm there might have mentioned our wonderful Joann Jackson on the show. So anyways, guys, if you want to listen to the road show, check it out, treehouseonair.com.
I love you, Trey.
Wow. Also,
No, I do.
Trey's a good guy.
Yeah.
But I will say this, at the road show, Carrie and Daniel Cook were there. Carrie and Daniel own Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. They are big supporters of our show as well as the Treehouse show. And Carrie and Daniel were there. They actually presented a donation
They
to
did.
the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation for several $1,000s. So just phenomenal. You know, the foundation has been around for many, many years. The foundation supports the families of our fallen police and firefighters here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, covers 10 counties. And, you know, that foundation would not be possible without the donors. And to have the Cooks being able to donate, you know, they're just great people. And again, big supporters of both our show and the Treehouse. So
Yeah, nice people and a lot of fun.
now something I do want to bring up. I've kind of had a dilemma this week, and Ross and Brad, feel free to chime in here. I need some advice. I'm thinking about purchasing some large animals.
Adopting large animals?
Yes, adopting them for a donation fee, but I'm looking at a pair of donkeys.
So you can have blank and chicks?
Yeah, I can have. I got the chicks outside, so now I figured we need to bring in a little more ass.
Yeah.
And you know, that way people could come to the house and
You can lure
check out
them
my
in.
ass.
Yeah, lure them in to be on the show to see your ass and chicks. Yeah.
Come be on the show and check out my ass.
Or asses. If you get
Asses.
two.
Okay. So I don't know. I'm still at the deciding factor, and
I think they'd be great because you have coyotes and stuff out here.
yeah,
Just don't forget somebody has to be the head jackass.
someone's
that's
got to be a
Steve.
jackass. Well,
It's already taken. That's Steve.
and I'd also gotten to the point like, okay, what do I name these animals? And then I started thinking of some previous coworkers in law enforcement in my agency. I'm thinking, you know what? I got a couple of names for jackasses.
But do
we've-
you want to you don't want to give them something that you don't like per se. You want to give them a good name, like a loving name, like a name of affection, not a name of someone that you didn't necessarily like.
Okay.
For decades, driving through the countryside, you see a pasture and it's got donkeys in it. And I'd always comment to my wife and go, look, it's a staff meeting.
It's a jackass staff meeting. I like this.
I always wanted one, and I wanted to name him Donkey long before Donkey on Shrek was a thing. So
Ooh. Well,
Donkette,
Donkette.
if you get a girl.
Okay. You know what? I think we've
Whatever.
donked the hell out of that. Ross, let's move on to you. You are a retired officer, correct?
Correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long you been retired?
The first time I retired was 2017.
Uh-oh, there's a catch to this.
Yeah. And then the second time was November of 21.
You're trying to perfect retirement. First one didn't work out too well.
I got suckered back in.
I was gonna say you got lured back in.
I got lured back in for the money and the glory.
Money and the glory and the fame and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ended up on nights for 4 years working 12s.
Oof.
Oh, there's the glory part.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so how long total did you have in law enforcement?
29 years.
29 years. What agencies did you work for?
I started as a child, I would say, at 22 years old, in Kennedale, small city south of Arlington.
Yeah.
I started there as a reserve for free. They hired me full time. Then I moved to what I thought was a bigger department, which was Pantego, where I did 4 years. Absolutely love that city, but there's nowhere to go. There's no
2 square miles.
Promoting.
Yeah, it is 2.2 square miles, and there's no upward mobility once they have a chief and one lieutenant and one sergeant. But
sure.
So, good friend of mine was working for Duncanville. He said, "Come take our test," and then I ended up doing 20 years there.
Great.
So,
that's awesome.
And then got lured back to another small agency here in North Texas.
But you're done now.
Completely done. I call it T-close, but T-Cole is gone. I let it slide. It was hard to do.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of
I mean, there are 78, 80-year-olds out there that still have their cert.
I planned way better.
Well, and Brad, your current officer, how long have you been in the profession?
About 19 and a half years. I started out with 10 years and 1 day at the Dallas Police Department. 1 day because they offered a $3,000 retention bonus, and I made sure that cleared before I let them know that I was leaving. And then I went to another small North Texas police department.
Okay.
For the last 9.5 at this point.
All right, very good. Any special assignments at any of the agencies you're at?
Yeah, right now I run our social media. And deal with the media, basically PIO position. And I've done that for, I think, 8 of those 9.5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it is. You blink and it goes by.
Yeah, it does.
It does. But, the PIO position, I played PIO for the last 7 or so years at my agency, and that was climate controlled.
Yeah. Well, I remember everybody always, in Dallas in a bigger department, everybody not having any position that's not patrol, and your patrol is everybody, they're upset with being the golden child or whatnot. But I don't know, anybody who's ever, whenever I go on vacation or whatnot, takes over the role, they're like, I don't ever want to do this again. Like, you can please have this back.
Wow.
I'm like, that's fine, take it. So,
What do you mean I get to do a press release on a Sunday morning at
it's
1
a
a.m.?
lot. Yeah, no, if there's an accident on the freeway at 3 a.m., it's, you have to answer the phone.
Yeah. That was the greatest thing. Whenever I retired, I had my personal cell phone, had my city cell phone and all the media contacts in it. And I'm like, here, you guys can have this phone back.
Yeah.
Ross, any special assignments during your time?
Man, people ask me what I did as a cop, and I tell them everything they would let me do. So, I was on SWAT. I was a SWAT team leader. I was what I call a marksman, not a sniper. I did motors. I did SRO for 3 years. I did personnel, IA.
Wow.
Duncanville's only like 63, 65 officers. So you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
At one point I was the SRO sergeant, the traffic sergeant, and the personnel and hiring guy and training. So
Oh, wow.
I handled all that. So
That's a lot.
I had another officer who worked for me, but still,
Yeah.
you wear a lot of hats.
You got to learn to say no.
But what it does is, yeah, I know. What it does though is it lets you have a pretty broad career.
Yeah.
You're not pigeonholed into one thing. So
Yeah, no, I agree. That was one thing. There's one point in time that I left patrol, took the PIO position, still investigated all fatality accidents, still did crime scene, still an instructor. And you're smart at agencies. You end up, you wear a ton of hats, have a lot of responsibilities. And that's good. That breaks up the monotony of the day to day and gives you experience in other things. But you just got to be careful sometimes.
Yeah, one of the reasons you were mentioning before we started about being in an office, and one of the reasons I retired the first time is I had my years and I was working narcotics, playing clothes. I just didn't feel like a cop anymore. I didn't even know where my radio was.
Right.
My vest was probably in a
And
locker
all your buddies
somewhere.
let you know about it. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, I was doing a lot of cool things, bearded, all that stuff, but I just kind of got burned out. I feel like I need to go do something else with my life. I already had a little over 24 years in the system. So
Yeah. So that option, that door's available to you.
Yeah.
Brad, you told me earlier you had a rookie story.
I did. I was, I think I was in my second phase of training. So on to my second trainer, and he was a talker. He was an older guy. I loved him to death, but he was the type that, whenever you're going code, like he would literally, if I was going through the school zone, put his coffee on the dash and be like, if you spill that, you failed today. Like it was kind of the old school.
Oh, yeah.
And he was super tough at the time. Ended up becoming, obviously, I think like they all do, they all put on kind of a visage of here's,
Sure.
I've got to be tough now, but the most wonderful man. I attribute him to, even on that short phase, saving my life. But we went on this call. It was an abandoned children call. And this was whenever I worked Northeast, and there's pockets of Northeast where there's a lot of immigrants that come in, and back then it was like, rightfully so, everybody kind of stays together there, right? So entire apartment complexes are all the same people that speak the same language and,
Sure.
have the same culture. And we go to this call. I've never answered an abandoned child call before. I don't know anything about children. I don't have children at this point. And he's raised two or three, I think 2 daughters. And so we talked to the leasing officer, and she's like, somebody came in and one of the kids had walked outside, and he's just wearing diapers. And we show up, she lets us in, and there's 3 of just the most precious kids that, based on the way that they studied us, they kind of ran from us at first. And, my trainer taught me, hey, you're 6'6".
You're a giant.
You're a giant. Squat
Little
down.
intimidating.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I squatted down, and it looked like, one of them was about 10 years old. One was maybe 5 years old, and the other was like 3, and they were alone in this apartment.
Wow.
And it is, at this point, that shift was 4 to 12. So it was probably about 10 o'clock at night. And so I checked, there's nothing in the fridge. There's no contact. And my trainer says, hey, I'm going to go start talking to neighbors. I'm going to start trying to find, and this is before iPhones. This is before you could push a button and find out who everybody is.
Yeah.
So he's like, stay here and entertain the kids, which is the word, like,
You've got no kids.
Please
here.
no.
Yes.
Right. So I go in, and the oldest is super mature, and, in some broken English, she sits there, and she brings her little brother up, the 5-year-old, and she's kind of pushing him towards me. But, it's my belief at this point, like maybe they've never seen someone like me before, let alone in this uniform. And, she said, the little boy finally spoke and said, what's your name? And I said, oh, I'm Officer Brad. And he giggled, and then he ran off into the kitchen.
Oh.
And the 10-year-old brings me the little one that's in diapers, the baby. And so I'm trying to hold a baby, and the only thing I know is to support its neck, I think. And so I'm kind of bouncing it on my knee, and I'm building trust, and I'm asking questions, and she just doesn't understand like it's anything. And so I'm just staring at the door, waiting for my trainer to come back, to anything to relieve me, right? And it's still that part of training where everything's tense, and I'm so scared I'm going to screw up, and I'm worried about everything. And the little 5-year-old who disappeared around the corner runs back, and he's holding like a bag of baguettes, and he just, in the biggest smile, just screams, "Look, it is Officer Brad." And I, like, my heart just melted, that this adorable, sweet boy who, we have no connection to the entire world. We're here to help. Thank God, that he's not scared of us and in our uniforms, and that just because we don't look like him. But it was just the sweetest thing in the world. And I mean, we were there for a few hours at that point. I mean, mommy had to go to jail that night for, abandonment of a child, which is, it became once I saw that impact of that, and kind of, I knew that a lot of the senior officers shied away from those calls because they take so long, that I kind of took on a bunch of those calls, especially once I had kids, because it mattered, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's amazing. I've got a similar story like that. It's amazing sometimes the kids get left at home and mom and or dad goes off to the club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Or leaves them in the car. And
leaves them in the car. Yeah.
I mean,
in the heat or in the cold.
it's amazing, but it's unfortunate. It does happen.
oh yeah.
And I think just about every officer's got a story.
And it happens across all classes, all races, all everything.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely. It does.
So you're forever going to be Officer Brad.
Officer Brad. Yep.
Officer
His
Brad.
daughter, my trainer's daughter, ended up becoming a Dallas officer also, and she'll whenever she comments on anything on my Facebook, it's always Officer Brad.
Officer Brad.
BREAD. So
That's gonna stick.
That's going to stick. If I ever see you out, I'm going to be like, Brad.
Now, Ross, you had mentioned pranks.
Yeah, when I started, it was a totally different law enforcement.
Yeah.
Old
As
school.
far as, I mean, I would say old school. I hate to be that guy now that's like, oh, when I was a guy. But
Back in the
it's
day,
changed.
but it was totally different,
It's changed dramatically in like the
Um,
past 10, 12 years.
No dash cams, no body cams, no recordings, I mean,
evidence.
yeah, really. But a lot of it was spent, like I said, I started as a child. I feel like, in Kennedale, I worked 3 8-hour shifts and then got hired full time. And I showed up at the station, and there was no one else at the station. I had my 2 rookie bags full of books, and I said, well, who am I with? So they called the captain at home. It was a Saturday, my first day, 3 to 11.
Gosh.
They called the captain at home and said, he's not with anybody. Tell him to get his butt in the car. So
Did you
3
have
8-hour shifts.
any training? Have
No.
you been through an academy?
Oh,
Nothing?
of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been to
Okay.
the academy, but
Okay. I was going to say, good golly.
no.
but no FTO.
No FTO.
Yeah.
No
I rode with
FTO.
a guy who'd been full-time cop 6 months for 3 8-hour shifts. And then they said, hit the street. So I just did what all rookies do when you first get cut loose. I drove around in circles on the main roads.
Officer presence, man.
Yeah,
You can
officer
turn
presence.
crime.
Until I
Can't put a
venture
price
out.
on deterrence.
Yep.
Yeah. But with being that young and not having a lot of adult supervision, you tend to pull pranks on each other. And it really started in Duncanville. I had a coworker who I love dearly, and we went to it's a weird story. I went back to the academy again. Duncanville wants everyone to go to the same academy.
Okay.
So I graduated the basic academy with my intermediate because I already had all my classes and all I needed was the hours.
Did you have to take the state licensing
No.
exam again?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I just stood in line with my TCOL card.
Nice. So
But,
you got paid
I did 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, coming
not
from nights. Yeah.
Not a bad gig.
But my guy I went to the academy with, I don't know if I should mention his name or not, but
Officer
Take a-
X.
Officer. Yeah.
well, now
Okay.
he's Chief X.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's stay away
Yeah,
from
let's
Chief
stay away
X.
from
man.
Chief
No,
X.
he's an amazing guy. Love him to death. He was texting me yesterday. So he started with the baby powder on the visor.
Yes.
So 8.5 by 11 paper folded in half, filled with baby powder, carefully put on the visor on a sunny day, so that when I got in the car to back out of the station, hit the sun, pulled it down all over the blue uniform.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So
It's
then,
like putting it in the air ducts.
so then I'm in the locker room with the hand dryer with my uniform shirt off, trying to get all the. Yeah. So I got him back with the baby powder in the AC vents.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's
Turkey
a good one.
baster. You heard
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
one?
Yep. Yep.
Turkey baster full of baby powder, and you gently inject it into the AC vents. And then you set everything to max high.
Beautiful.
So as soon as he gets
Oof.
in and turns on the key.
That's better than pepper spray.
Yeah.
Well,
So this continues escalating. And then one day he's parked at the station, and the Crown Vics all had fleet keys.
Yeah.
So every key would open it. So I took 2 cans of the cheapest rose scented potpourri I could buy at Dollar General, and I opened his back door and I filled his car full of both of those cans of potpourri spray.
Oh, my Lord. Asthma attack
then-
en route.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? He probably smelled good the rest of the day.
It probably smelled good the rest of the time he had that car.
The rest of the year.
This is Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. Check us out online at offbeatcopshow.com.
Let's welcome Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the studio. Their number is 833 Cook DFW. The website, cookdfw.com. What's happening, Daniel?
Man, Steve, it's been a fantastic time. Been busy and just trying to stay organized, stay on top of everything.
Now, Daniel, we were hanging out not too long ago at the Treehouse shows. They're what they refer to as the Sunday Fun Day Road Show. And they're at the road show. You and your wife, Carrie, actually presented a check to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. And the Listeners Foundation's been around for a long time. The foundation provides monetary donations to the family members of our fallen police and firefighters here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It covers 10 counties. And just a very, very important foundation. And you and Carrie at Cook DFW have been longtime supporters of the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. And I just want to say, thank you for your donation from your company and the support you guys give to the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Super important. It's an unfortunate, it's an unfortunate thing that you have to donate to, but it needs to be done. And Carrie, for many years before we even met, was a foundation donor, and then obviously since we've been in business, we've constantly figured out how to give back, and we know that with our our promotional costs that we supply to the Treehouse, I know a portion of that everybody donates back. Everybody is on top of this, and it's a very important organization to donate to. So we're very thrilled that we were able to do that. The listeners made that possible. When they call in and they ask for us for coming out and giving us estimates on different things around the house, we are making a valid effort trying to make sure a percentage of our profits always go back to the RMS. And so just a great day, good thing to see everybody. And we're glad we were able to do it.
Yeah. It's phenomenal that you guys are active there with the foundation and your donations. And it is so very appreciated. Unfortunately, a lot of my friends are survivors of fallen police officers here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and several of them have been recipients of those donations. And it makes such a huge difference in their life when at a point when they should not have to worry about finances after the tragic loss of their first responder. The last thing you want to have to focus on in that situation is money, but those donations go so far to help them cover their expenses while they begin the grieving process. So Daniel, thank you very much. Pass our thanks along to Carrie as well. Guys, if you're in need of a new roof repair, remodeling, or restoration, give Daniel a call at Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. The number's 833 Cook DFW. Again, that's 833 Cook DFW. The website is cookdfw.com. Be sure to ask about their free first responder upgrade.
Hi, this is Joann Jackson. My husband, Dallas Police Officer Brian Jackson, gave his life serving the city of Dallas in 2005. The RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation supports the families of Dallas and Fort Worth area police officers and firefighters who have selflessly fallen in the line of duty. To donate, please visit offbeatcopshow.com or treehouseonair.com and click on the link.
And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. Steve here, co-host for today, Joann Jackson.
Hey, y'all.
We've got two guests joining us in studio. We've got retired Officer Ross Dobelbower.
Yep. Dobelbower. Yep.
Got it.
Nailed it.
Some names can be, challenging for me. And you, I've butchered some names.
Yes, you have.
I'm proud of myself here.
My joke is always, they'll say, "What's your last name?" And I'll say Dobelbower, common spelling.
Right? Yeah, that's...
I'd be phonetically spelling that out.
And also joining us in the studio, we've got Officer Brad Uptmore.
Officer Brad?
Yes.
Officer Brad.
Yeah, I'm here ready.
Yeah, Officer Brad's in the house. Now, this segment of Offbeat, sponsored by our good friends at Alexander Financial Management. If you have questions about retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, or estate planning, check out Alexander Financial Management at alexfm.com.
Yeah.
Now, Officer Brad, did you have a missing person?
No, we had, you know, how once you kind of find what you're good at and what you like to, of course, all my stories are from almost like multiple decades ago, because I have a desk job. I admire everybody who goes out every day and answers all the calls in the heat and all that stuff. I'm just glad that I don't have to do that anymore. But
nothing funny happens in the office.
Nothing funny.
No.
Well, yeah, that's. But no, I kind of at a certain point somehow carved out a niche for myself that I got really good at death notifications. And you know, so and you know, part of the reason I became a cop, I mean, obviously we're just to help people, right? We all, you know, and to be a good person, I want to make a change in the world, whatever.
Just don't say that in your oral board.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
I'm here to arrest people and kick
but
ass.
but you want to see things that you're not supposed to see, and so you know, I did. We would. My partner hated it at the time, but we would go to all the, you know, the Signal 27s, the dead body calls.
And you know, like you're saying, you drive around and you see an accident and you're like, ooh, I wonder what happened.
Right. So
I'll
now
just
I
become
get
a cop and I'll be in the middle of all of it.
Yeah, I put that blanket over, right? So I got really good at it though. Like you know, and it was good because, like I said, I found a way to channel it. It was I could deliver it properly, right? Like, was I Baylor University's 2003 Actor of the Year? Maybe I was, but and I'm not saying that I was acting, but I knew how to control myself, how to speak to someone like a human, right? Like that's always been my biggest thing. I never want to be a police robot. I want to be a human, and so I had kind of carved out this niche for myself that, and I had this whole rapport. It was almost a skit, right? So much that even when I went to my new department here, it's like they said, "Hey, we've got one today. Like, we think you should do this in front of the rookie and stuff." So. But one night in Northeast, we happened to have, I think we had 4 or 5 homicides on the same night. And so it was down on Ferguson. I remember in an apartment complex, there was like a double. I don't know if it was gang violence. I don't remember what it was, but we had two deceased down there. And since we were so busy that night, they had sent officers from Southeast, right, which are a totally different breed than officers north of 30, right? They have a different type of justice. They have a different way of doing everything. So I show up on the call and I'm absolutely ready to, you know, tell this poor woman that her son has died. And, you know, I'm kind of going through the steps and making sure I remember all the stuff to do. And she pulls up and she's rightfully so, she's losing her mind. Where's my baby?
Yeah.
Where's my baby? And I'm walking up and I'm like, ma'am, hey there. And as I start to talk, one of these Southeast sergeants walks right in front of me and just goes, "He dead."
Oh.
And I was like, "What did you just do?" Like, I think I smiled because it was so out of the blue.
Yeah.
And you know, and then she starts wailing, and I'm looking, and it's like I can't say anything. I'm just a patrolman. I can't say, "Sir, no." Like
That's the wrong way
and
to
at that
deliver
point,
it.
like I did a heel turn and walked right back to the to protect the scene. Like I didn't want to have to deal with the repercussions for that, but it broke I was like, "Oh, you poor thing!" Like,
yeah, you can't.
I was gonna try to make it as it's never easy, but I was gonna make it as to where you remember something, like you remember that it wasn't just it was delivered properly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, like you say,
And
you know,
just
you have the things you say, and you know that effort was made.
oh
yeah,
still
just
I could see his face. It was just like, what?
Yeah. I mean, that's something you do not want to screw up.
No.
I made a lot of notifications after working, you know, fatality motor vehicle accidents. Then after we finished the scene, I had to go notify the family. And that, yeah, you know that you're about to change their life.
Right.
The words coming out
Right.
of your mouth. And yeah.
No, I became friends with a dad in the town I work. Like he found a way to reach out to me after the fact. Was like, "Can I buy you a drink at a place? I just want to tell you how important that was. Like that we weren't just a call that night, and that you sat down with us, you delivered it well." And he was a surgeon, so he had said, you know, I have to do that to people too,
Mhm.
and I like what you did basically. And it was horrible news, but thank you for letting us worry about something else instead of just this horrible news.
Yeah, because you have to carry that burden with you.
Sure.
Like it was one of our friends who told me about Brian.
Right.
And while I'm eternally grateful, I feel really bad that he was the one who had to tell me. It wasn't command staff.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to him, but I still feel like it leaves you guys with a burden too.
Sure.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway from Brad's story:
Just don't say he did.
don't answer the door if Brad's on the porch.
Yeah. Hopefully, I will never be on that again.
If I see Officer Brad out the
I
front,
am,
I'm closing the windows and the
I am
blinds.
happy with my desk.
I just be yelling, "Go away! Nobody's home."
And nobody's
And-
here.
I've seen some crazy reactions. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, yeah.
One I gave, I was doing everything, trying to do everything perfectly and all that. And the guy just stood there at the door staring at me and he goes, "Okay, thanks." And just closed the door.
Oh,
Like I was
Well,
standing there with the rookie.
right.
I'm like, "Oh, this is how you're going to do it, right?" And it was a dad. And he just said, "Okay, thanks." Closed the door. Like no emotion, no. I guess it was like 2 or 3 in the morning as well.
Well, he
Right,
was
right.
asleep and he was probably shocked,
Sure.
and it probably took a little bit to settle in.
Yeah.
And it's not
But
like
it was awkward for
Yeah.
us to walk back to the car and the rookie's like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know."
I have no
You know,
clue.
People handle it differently.
yeah.
well, we had one that we had to do one evening, and we were calling one of the siblings, if you will, and we would always go in person if it was possible, and or contact the agency that had jurisdiction and send them. And this particular night, we had one situation where we needed to make a phone call, and it was 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and the family member answered the phone, said, "Hey, it's Officer Rutherford in my agency and stuff," and she's like, "This is an inappropriate time to call anybody," and hung up. I was like,
Okay.
Okay.
Should be a clue.
yeah. So unfortunately, we delivered in person to another family member. That was when we ended up calling medics on, because the reaction was it was a culturally diverse situation,
Mhm.
and there was a language barrier as well, and some religious barriers there. So that was a different one. But yeah. Those were never easy. And we go back to talking about the dark side, the dark humor, and actually having to have fun at work because the traumatic events. Well, that's traumatic, having to tell someone their loved one's not coming home. So, yeah, unfortunately, that is part of the job. Don't forget, you know what you signed up for, guys. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a wonderful one, isn't it?
I don't
Yeah.
remember that being in the job description.
Yeah. After you read it and you apply, then they start adding stuff. It wasn't there.
It's like they update the terms constantly. You get an email.
Yeah,
These
it's
are the
like-
updated terms, by the way.
Social media updates. Yeah.
Now, Brad, you had you mentioned to me something about games on calls.
We did. You go on so many calls that are just the same thing over and over and over. And
Got to spice it up.
you got to spice it up a little bit. And I remember, let's see, we were on, it was a third watch. And I had a buddy that he would partake in these with me, especially even if it was a one-man call, he'd show up. And one of our favorites, I used to like to ironically wear oversized aviators. Like that was kind of my thing. It was my it's tongue in cheek. Like people would think I was being serious. And that to me delighted me, that you think I'm that serious, right? Like I'm not the type of cop that it plays bad boys whenever somebody calls, right? That's not me. You can tell by the way just everything. But I would wear these aviators, and we would stand there. We would have the complainant stand in front of us. And again, with peace and love, these are property crimes. This is not anything serious, right? And we would both have our glasses on, and I know this is radio, and so I will have to describe. But as I would ask her the first question, I would dramatically remove my glasses, like it was what is it with
David Caruso?
With David Caruso, right?
Yeah.
Dramatically, and I'd be like, "So what time did this happen?" And she would tell me, and I'd write it down. And then my partner on the other side would ask her a question, and as I'm putting mine back on, as he's doing the same thing, he's like, "You didn't see anything?" And we would see who would get called out on it, or how long we could go. And it's so stupid and simple, but we're just trying to make it through the shift, right? And you can't laugh. That's the key, because your partner over there, he wants you to be the one to screw up. So he's over there, mugging you and glaring at you. And no, you got to be dramatic about it.
All right.
Yeah, no.
We just happen to have.
Look, I've got mine right over there.
We just happen to have some.
These are
I
like
got this one.
ironically small.
Yeah, right. Well, mine are fat face.
Show us how this looks, Brad.
So what time do you think that? Hang on.
It's kind of hard with the headset.
It is hard with the headset. So we'll just do like a, what time did this happen?
I like it.
You know,
like
and
it.
it's and they're feeling like they're the, you know, you're really taking their crime seriously, right? Like just somebody.
Well, I mean, of course you were.
Somebody
You were
sma-
taking it
of
seriously, but you were
course,
having
but
fun.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's and it is, yes. Is this if having if a BMV is the worst day of your life, you lived a pretty good life,
Yes.
right? So
Agreed.
you know, it was fun. It was harmless. Those were the harmless little things. Or
So it makes me think of a story where you're talking about taking things seriously, but not taking them seriously. We had a guy one time, there was a lady who lived in the city who claimed every night someone came into her house and moved things around and it was in her house. Everybody's had that one, right?
Yep.
So one of our
Aliens.
officers got tired of it. He was super senior. He was an old head. Like it was a battle to get him to wear a vest. I mean, so he went out to this house and he's like, I'm going to go handle this call. I'll take care of it. So maybe a week later, he gets called in because her family complained because what he did is he told her to take flour and spread it over all the floor and carpeting in her house to see if they could see some footprints the next time she saw someone.
I mean,
So her family,
I mean, it makes sense.
that
her
sounds like a
family
problem-solving
arrived.
technique.
her family arrived and her whole house is covered in flour and she's been shuffling around in it for a week. Yeah.
Any footprints in it?
But of course,
Just hers.
the funniest thing
hers.
is he didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah.
He didn't go and say, hey, guess what I did?
Oh yeah,
it was
brilliant.
totally silent. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Then of course you can't help but laugh, but you also feel bad for the family. They have to clean this mess up.
Oh,
Yeah, I just heard a story about that the other day about was on one of the law enforcement pages about they set up a baby cam, a nanny cam, and there was someone actually living in her attic. It was an elderly woman living in her attic, coming down
Wow.
and doing things, and that's scary because I mean you read stories about people in crawl spaces and basements and attics, and man,
You want something funny here, Joe?
yeah.
I know where you heard that story.
Where
I told it on the road show at the Treehouse.
did you?
Yes.
Well, now
I
you have a
could've
solution
sworn-
to it. If
Yeah.
you think someone's living in your
But I
attic,
could have swore I read it online too. I think it's like a common story. It's kind of like the alien fighting.
Yeah, we had some Fort Worth officers on, and yeah, the complaint was elderly lady. I mean, she was elderly, but still had a part-time job, so she would leave her house for go to work. And she had called because she said, "I'm finding things, I'm finding things out of place. I'm finding dishes in my sink." So, officers responded many, many times, and they finally got the family involved. They're starting to go for professional help for her. Anyways, baby monitor of all things gets installed in there, and apparently this range must have been pretty good because they did refer to it as a baby monitor. She leaves for work one day. She's right down the end of the street. She pulls it up, and there's a guy inside her house. And this guy, come to find out, had been living in the attic for the last 2 weeks.
ooh,
And he'd wait for her to go to work, then he would come down.
That's creepy.
Check your
That's
attics.
super creepy.
Might not be squirrels. Check your attics.
I
it's too
wasn't
hot right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
anyone's in
Again.
my attic, they're going to be dead, or they're either dead or they're going to be dead.
Well, if you're
I'll make that
noticing an odor
notification
coming
for
from
you.
your attic,
God, no, I don't
Yeah.
want any of that foolishness.
I was called out one time to a scene to be a chimney expert.
What?
A sergeant called me out and said, we have a guy here. A lady had a family living in her chimney,
Oh,
supposedly. And so he called me out and he's like, roll with it. So we went in and he's like, this is Officer Dobelbower. He's a chimney,
sweep.
well, he's just like a chimney expert on families that live in chimneys. So he's going to check it out for us. And so I did. I got down and opened the flue and looked up in there with my flashlight. I was like, no, they've all moved out. And she was happy. She never called back about it.
That's it.
Just needed an expert on scene.
Thinking outside the box. I was hoping we were going to hear a story about you putting on the harness and then lowering you down
No,
the chimney
no.
or something.
that's funny. It's like Dave's alien story.
Yes, we've had an alien
Mhm.
story. We had, again, and this happened. What agency was he for?
Westerly, Rhode Island.
Okay, up in Rhode Island. They get tied up. They get tied up quite a bit because the same caller, same complainant calls all the time. There's an alien in my house. There's an alien in my house.
Mhm.
This goes back to a previous episode. I want to say 6, 7, somewhere around there.
Yeah, one of the early.
And he and his partner go in there and say, "Where's this alien at?" Well, sitting on the edge of the bed. And anyways, they go inside the room, and his partner leans over and said, "Just go with it." Gets in there, and he just starts yelling, saying, "Hey, you better get out.
Tussling and fighting
Yeah,
and
better get out." And then
rolling
then
across the bed.
starts a fight with an invisible alien, and then finally yells at his partner, "Hey, get the window, get the window." They open up the window, and he runs over there and acts like he throws the alien out, and then he yells out the window, "And don't ever come back." Then they close the window. And lady's like, thank you so much, officers. Thank you.
Never
Oh.
had another problem.
Outside the box.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go to work expect to fight aliens, for crying out loud.
Hey, you know what you signed up for.
That's right.
Planning for the future is challenging, and getting where you want to go in life requires strategies built around your unique financial needs. Alexander Financial Management is here to help you reach your goals. As fiduciaries, Alexander Financial Management will pursue the best solutions for you, no exception. While their decades of experience and service are available to everyone, Alexander Financial especially wants to help first responders and their families. The founder is a former police officer, and the executive team includes a retired fire captain and a retired police officer. Their extensive background in public service gives a deep understanding of the public retirement systems of Texas. So for retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, and estate planning, Alexander Financial Management has your back, so you can look forward. Get more info at alexfm.com. That's alexfm.com. Investment advisory services offered through Transcend LLC, a registered investment advisor. TE3 and Alexander Financial are not affiliated entities. Insurance products and services are not offered through TE3, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents.
And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. We're joined with two guests in studio today. We're joined with retired Officer Ross Dobelbower.
Yep, perfect. Dobelbower. See, you got it mastered now.
I'm buying a lotto ticket today. And we've got, we're also joined with Officer Brad. Officer Brad Uptmore. Officer Brad's in the house. Okay. If you've not checked out the website yet, check it out, guys. Offbeatcopshow.com. There on the website, you can listen to all episodes. We've got a little microphone icon on there. Click on that microphone. You can leave us a message. So if you'd like to share a story with us, then click on that button. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and leave your story. We'll share it here on the show. Also on the website at the top, we've got a link to the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. Again, we discussed that a little bit earlier on. That provides monetary donations to the families of our fallen officers and firefighters here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Very important, and the foundation exists only on donations. So if you feel so led, I would encourage you to make a donation. What, Joann, what are we doing here?
Brad's breaking things.
No, there was a sticker that needed a repress, so I was just trying to help out.
We're trying to concentrate. Brad's on the end. He's just tearing up the studio.
That's what I do.
Were you a fidget wheel guy when this came out? You
No.
sit there and do the fidget spinners.
That needs to be fixed.
Oh, all right. Concentrate, everybody.
Concentrate. Yes. And where can you listen and view our show?
Well, we are on all streaming platforms, but we are also on YouTube. So if you haven't checked out the show on YouTube, you can actually watch the show on YouTube. Make sure that you click that subscribe button on there. It costs you nothing. Give us a thumbs up. We're also on, you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All the stuff.
If you got a story you'd like to come on the show and come in studio and share with the listeners, send us an email, offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. Again, that's offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. We'd love to have you in the studio. All right, we've got, we're going to close out here with a couple of stories. Ross, I'm a little apprehensive about this one. You have a story about a little person.
I do. I mean, what cop doesn't have a little person story?
Ross, I don't have a little person
okay.
story.
I don't have one either.
A neighboring agency, their jail's under remodel, so they're transporting their prisoners to our jail. So I get a call to assist a neighboring agency.
This isn't a prisoner, is it?
Oh yeah. So
you don't only need a little jail.
Do what?
Just need a little jail. Okay.
Yeah, I just need a small jail. Really, they just needed a cell.
This is where I'd cover my name and badge number
no,
at this point.
So I get
we lost Joann,
I
by the
get
way.
dispatched to help with an unruly, intoxicated prisoner, and so I show up in the Sally Port, and so this neighboring agency officer happens to be probably one of the smallest officers I know that I worked with. Just maybe 5'4", 150 pounds, or 15 pounds, maybe, just a small guy. So he goes to get his unruly intoxicated prisoner out, and it's a little person, and he's in handcuffs, and he is MFing and fighting and everything. So
Leprechaun.
imagine the two of us trying to drag this guy. We're not going to do the fingerprinting process. It's not going to happen. So we get him to the cell, and I open the door, and both of us we've got the handcuffs off of him now, so he's really fighting. So we're trying to get him in there, and if you can imagine, you don't want to be rough. I mean, you don't want to like grab a dude like you would a big burly biker guy and hammer him into the cell. So we're sitting there going back and forth, and this other officer has him in the door, and we've got him inside, and the guy reaches around and grabs him right around the knees. So if you imagine his height is like knee height, and he grabs him around the knees, and then that officer falls on top of me, and we fall into the jail hallway, and then the guy gets out of the jail cell. So now we're in the main hallway trying to get this little person back under control to get him back into the cell. But seeing that other officer with his arms waving like, whoa, as he's got someone wrapped around his knee is not something you would ever expect to see. For sure.
I just, you lost Joann.
I did.
At the minute, moments ago. She's been over here trying to hide her laughter. You're crying. Okay, so I'm to understand that you and this other officer got taken by a little person.
We did. Yeah.
Okay.
But we finally got him wrangled up, got him where he needed to be.
Wrangled up.
Yeah. Finally chased him down, got him where he needed to go. And I'm going to say he was using his size to his advantage for sure. Yeah.
You're thinking of the theme song to Mario Brothers, aren't you?
Just having visions of childhood stuff.
Childhood stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of little people in your childhood.
Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to.
I mean, the best part is we didn't have to strike him or punch him or anything. I wouldn't want to punch someone that is normally wouldn't be someone you would appropriately punch.
It's a good segue.
It's a great segue. Who else wouldn't you punch?
Yeah,
I probably wouldn't. I don't know.
Brad.
Officer Brad. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Brad.
Ever had to?
Yeah, I mean, geez.
Ross just kind of.
Ross just threw you under the bus.
Did you hear that bus backing up?
Yeah. No, we had a call in Uptown, which is Uptown Dallas, which is a super nice part of town. Obviously, a lot of money there, clean, not a lot of issues, and we had gotten a report that there was a burglary in progress of one of these townhomes, and these were on the outside. These townhomes look like something you'd find in Italy or something, right? Super, super nice, super luxurious. But I guess they were renovating the one that they had seen someone breaking into. So it's a 2-3 man call. Show up with 3 1-man units. We all show up, and we kind of go inside. And it's something from, at that point, I can only describe it's like it's so luxurious on the outside, and you walk in, and it's something like in Stranger Things terms, it's like the Upside Down. There is no carpet. There's nails everywhere. It's just it's creepy, right? And it's late afternoon, so the shadows are throwing stuff. So we all have to like crawl in through a broken door because the doors were boarded, all that kind of stuff. It looks like a horror house. It's terrifying. So we all kind of crawl in and meander our way through. And we get inside, and it's dark, and there's dust everywhere, and our flashlights are shining. It's enough that you can see the dust particles. And my partner elbows me, and there's somebody sleeping on the couch, and long white hair, very looks very teeny, kind of frail, kind of. I mean, it was creepy, right? This is the stuff that you never think, right?
I'm out.
I'm checking out.
You can show me clear.
So I do so I do the best thing. I'm like, hey, y'all have got that person. I'll check upstairs, right? So I go upstairs, and obviously I'm a larger person. I remember a partner described it as like anytime I'd take a step, like you could see the wood creak and the dust fall down. And it was just, and so I'm up there, and I started to find a bunch of purses that were empty. And I was like, oh, we got maybe a purse thief or something. Mm-hmm. And about that time, I hear my partner yell down, Upmore, get down here. We've got a live one. So I take off running. I run down the stairs. I round the corner, and there's this elderly woman, I mean, like a banshee. She has one handcuffed on, and the other one, they haven't been able to secure it. And so it's like a talon, and she's lashing out at these two other officers, just
Help.
attack. Right. And they're kind of keeping her at bay. I mean, like I said, whenever we saw you couldn't tell if it was a man, woman. It was just creepy.
It's dark and shadowy.
Oh yeah. And this woman's screaming at the top of her lungs. And like I said, banshee's the best word. And so I run up to kind of join the fray, and I look at her and I go, "Hey, stop." And I start to reach and I grab her wrist. And at that second, she rears back and she squarely kicks me in what some might call the testicles. Yes, it's
the twig and berries.
Right,
Twig and
exactly right. And I'm not wearing my cup that day. And
But you signed up for this.
I signed up for this.
Knew what you signed up for. Yep.
And with no thought, with no reaction, I slug her across the face, and she hits the ground to the point that I remember comically looking. I remember like the other officers were in like this triangle, and I remember looking down and then like looking up at him, and then he looks down and looks up at her, and then he turns and looks at the other officer, and we're standing there, and I'm like, did I kill this person? Because it does not look good.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm already freaking out. I mean, at this point, I got 5 years on. I mean, I got to Uptown, like I'm on days.
Yeah.
And so we call an ambulance, of course, immediately, start the supervisor. We're like, well, let's get her out of here somewhere. So they remove some stuff from the door so we can get out the front door finally. And we kind of lift her up and we handcuff her. We finish the job on that. And so we're kind of carrying her, just like a dummy almost. And so I've got kind of her one side of her wrist, got her legs. We start walking through the door, and female officer holds open the door for me and the male officer. And as we get there, the banshee starts screaming again and thrashes so violently in this house that there's a piece of wood that it goes. I mean, it look again, horror movie. Think that blood is splashed across the wall, and now as she's thrashing, because this house is so dilapidated, now she has a spike in her head.
Oh God.
And she's screaming at the top of her head. And again, this is,
oh my God.
Ambulance arrives, the homeowner shows up and he says, "I'm not pressing charges on this. There is no offense here. Let that person get treated. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine."
And please don't
she
come
just a
back.
squatter?
Please don't come. Yeah, just a squatter.
Just a squatter.
Right. Just a
Wow.
squatter. Right. So, we check with the supervisor, and he's like, "Okay, we'll just let her go and let her get checked out." So we uncuff her. And
Sarge, she's
Yeah.
force.
Well, she assaulted you.
She did. Well, she did. But at this point, I don't remember if there was another circumstance here but she takes the spike out. She flips off the ambulance, flips off us, and walks away. And that was that.
Holy
So when my
cow.
kids, this story has only come up when my children have said, "Dad, it's not okay to hit women," right? I'm like, absolutely. Like we put women on a pedestal. We protect women. We take care of women. And my oldest always gets that look in his eye, like, what if it's an old lady
you're
that kicks
defending
you?
yourself.
Yeah, what if it's an elderly lady dad that
Right.
The
It was-
60-pound elderly woman.
Yeah. And I don't remember the details of and it may have been one of those things of, "Hey, I just want to go home. I want to put some ice on this thing." Like that matters a little more than
Stomach hurts.
an arrest. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
I think there's a lesson to be learned here. If Officer Brad shows up at your doorstep,
Don't answer the door.
do not answer.
Don't have a
Do
way
not
for me to
answer.
crawl in. Right.
Nope.
Like
Dave's not here.
Oh,
it used to be action packed. It's not the last decade, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
And we're all still here.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for coming on the show today. Brad,
Thank you.
Ross, it's been a
Thank you, sir.
pleasure having you on.
What was his last name again? Look at me.
Dot.
No cheating.
Dobelbower.
Dobelbower. Yeah.
Dobelbower.
Dobelbower.
All right. I can't wait until John Smith comes on the show.
I know.
All right, guys. Again, it's a pleasure having you on. Guys, till next time, keep it real, keep it funny, stay safe, and watch each other 6.